Spooky, spooky skeleton. It's the day. I can't take you serious.
I tried to be serious. I couldn't do it.
No, I couldn't do it. It worked. Happy Halloween and welcome to the Daily Grind. I am your host, Chef Linguini from Ratatouille, and it's Thursday, so I have Sandor Clegane, the Hound, with me. How are you, sir?
I am quite somber this morning, as you might see me in Game of Thrones. I can't even do it.
No, it's perfect.
What's up, man?
No, dude, what's up is you look like you just watched the game, and I look like what I imagine Taylor Jenkins feels like when he starts to cook, when he thinks he's cooking. You
look like what Kleiman looks like in the offseason when he's cooking up these contracts and these deals. I'll definitely give you that. But Taylor Jenkins, like, the lights are on, but I don't think anybody's home right now.
No, and last night was a pretty bad. Yeah. It was just a pretty indicative of a lot of the problems we've seen early in the season as a whole from the Grizzlies, to be completely honest.
It really was the first 5 games in a nutshell. We actually won the third quarter for the first time all season, but we lost the other 3. It was amazing that we could only muster up 16 points in the fourth quarter. It's the same issues each week. I'm trying not to get too ahead of myself here, but we're in the fourth quarter. They're on a run, and Jaren is still on the bench, and they had literally nothing for him last night.
No, he was without a doubt. He was the 2 games that Jaren should have played the entire game, that should have been playing the entire time. He's been arguably the most dominant guy on the floor.
Yeah. It's
been really strange. For those who didn't catch the game, or for those who just had it on in the background, Grizzlies.
You're smarter than I.
Yeah, God. I watched the second half, had the first half on in the background, and then I tuned into the second half to see how the third quarter was going to go. I don't know why, because then the fourth quarter happened, and I was like, are we even playing? Are we even playing basketball right now? But
Maggie and I finished the grudge. We didn't even watch the beginning of the fourth quarter. We watched the end. We made it a 2-point game. I get back in and thinking, okay, this is, we're going to figure it out. But hey, take heart, Grizzly fans. None of our players played more than 30 minutes last night. Great job, Coach Jenkins. Here we go again with time management in freaking October when everybody else is playing 30-plus minutes. We got 35 minutes out of Cam Johnson, 34 out of Dennis Schroeder last night. Cam Thompson played 33 minutes. And your boy Zaire cooked us to the tune of 17 points in his return to the Forum. Last night, it's early in the season to be saying, oh, we bottomed out. Like, this is as bad as it's going to get, because it can get worse. But last night is as bad as it's been.
Yes. Just go through. If you just go through the stats, our field goal percentage was 47%. Nets was 51. Our 3-point percentage, 30. Nets was 37. Free throws, 76%. Nets, 88. We had 22 turnovers. They had 15. We tied with assists, 27. We out-rebounded them barely. We had more blocks. They had more steals. We had more fouls. They were the better team.
By a rookie coach.
Yeah. And I don't know anything about this coach, but they seem to be – it doesn't matter – personnel-wise, last night is just the type of game that should not have happened, because you have a team that is tanking, that has there's
nothing there. Nothing. Yeah, there's nothing to play for. They're failing for a flag. They're trying to get a top draft pick. They're going to blow it up at the trade deadline. And we're a team with championship aspirations. And you've got a 6-year head coach in the postgame saying, well, I guess I need to figure out how to get the guys more prepared. Bro, it is year 6. If you haven't figured that out by now, what are we doing? What are we doing?
I can't have Chef Boyardee taser fake. It would be different if I like Taylor a lot, but it's getting really hard to defend him when he gets up there and just says the same stuff.
There's what defense do you have for him last night? What could you possibly say in a game against a Nets team that is bad? Dennis Schroeder, yes, is known Grizz killer, but what excuse could you possibly have for Taylor Jenkins last night, Luke? Is there anything?
Last night was hard. Because a lot of the times you can be like, he was – if he gets out coached, he gets out coached, but there's no business for that happening last night. I'm going to be – this is going to be – is it Jordy Fernandez? Is that who the coach is?
Fernandez, yeah.
Do we know – I don't know.
He was an assistant on the Clippers or somebody. He was an assistant last year somewhere else. He had better lineups. He figured it out earlier. He made more adjustments. Yeah, congratulations. We won the third quarter, but we won the 28-24. We couldn't get any stops last night. And Luke, I've been thinking about this. And like, do you think, I want your honest opinion, like, do you think, are we doing too much on the offensive end to where we don't have any energy left for the defensive end, right? Because we're moving so much on offense. Could we just be wearing ourselves out? Because midway through the second quarter, we had no juice. Like, there was no effort whatsoever.
No, I'm worried that's what's happening. I'm worried you're right, because I'm going to see if I can get it pulled up real quick. Typically, for the first time under Taylor Jenkins's career, I mean, tenure as a Grizzlies, Steven Adams,
this wig could be used for Steve. Stay tuned for next year. It might be Aquaman next year.
That's good. The most of these under his tenure, we are incredible defensive teams. I think Daniel even said we were top 10 defense last year.
But it's not until January. They were talking about this yesterday on the Chris Vernon show. Like, we were Tuesday on the Chris Vernon show. We don't get there until January.
Yeah, and it's the offense so far this year. We're on track. We're pretty high in most offensive categories statistically with all the other teams right now. However, that's not translating to wins, and the defense is slowly moving farther and farther down.
It's getting worse.
And that's what worries me, because if it was just now, it's starting to look like a pattern. Lots of attempts, lots of ball movement, lots of assists. It's not translating to baskets, not translating to points, and it's definitely translating to poor defense. Like, I don't get it.
That, and then like it feels like Taylor Jenkins has lost the locker room already. You got guys that are worried about Twitter and what people are saying on Twitter about them. We're not tweeting enough positive things. Fans are frustrated with the lack of playing, the lack of oomph, the lack of whatever. And here we are worried about Twitter. Ja last night saying, you got to live with my minutes. I live with it. He was not very happy about his playing time. Same with Jaren. Both of them kind of saying stuff. And listen, man, like, if Chris Vernon, DeMichael Cole, and Drew Hill start getting on your ass as the head coach, you need to be worried. And all three of them, Verno on Tuesday and DeMichael and Drew last night, were tweeting out some stuff that if I'm Taylor Jenkins, I don't think I slept real well last night.
No, the backbone of the Memphis media is starting to, and these are dudes who are always in his corner.
Absolutely, they have been Taylor, like, even more so than Drew Gann. They have been Taylor Jenkins apologists and will defend him to the ends of the earth. And they're starting to sour on him. So, don't hear what I'm not saying. I don't think he's going to get fired anytime soon. Fortunately, unfortunately, whatever. I don't think he is, simply because, like, the front office loves him so much, because Kleiman is a very big analytics guy. Jinx is a very big analytics guy, but it's translating to, and like I've said numerous times on this show and on Two Buck Sports Show, like, there's no translation to game feel. Like, he's so analytic. They cut to him one time and he was looking up at the scoreboard last night at center court with the most just like derp face I've ever seen. And I'm like, that kind of translates to how this, like, his coaching tenure is going right now. It feels like the lights are on and nobody's home. He's so focused on analytics that it loses game feel, and we're not putting Ja back in until late in the game. Jaren's getting pulled out. Like, there were, like, in crunch time in the fourth quarter last night, Taylor Jenkins thought it was a good idea to have a roster, like a lineup out there of Scotty, Jake, Jitty, Santi, BC, like there, and maybe like J Huff kind of coming in and out. Like, there was no starters whatsoever. Verno said it best on Tuesday. We have too many minutes where our bench is playing their starters, and that continued last night.
Yeah, and that's something that will cost you a championship. I mean, and when that's the expectation of this team, and they're below 500. Yeah, that's not. And then everybody's just, Taylor's not going to have another, like, we're getting all these team friendly deals, all these, like, oh yeah, these 4-year deals all under the MLE. He's not going to be around for any of them, because like I don't know what you've got. The guys on you've got your three guys, and he is doing the opposite of, he's not utilizing the big three at all.
And you look at any other team, literally any other team in the association, and they're playing 30-plus minutes right now, where our guys, Ja played 29 last night. Luke, I'm a little worried about Ja. I love Ja Morant. I will defend him to the ends of the earth. Love my guy. But too much time being spent on Twitter, and I don't know that he's got that killer instinct so far this year. Like that demon time Ja where you could 12 can take over, and he got engaged late last night and kind of made a push to come back, but it was too little too late. But I'm worried that we don't have that demon time Ja anymore when you can count on him to go get you 35 or 40 points when you need him to, because he just, I don't know, not to steal Daniel Gurr's thunder, but I just don't see that fire in his eye anymore.
I don't know. I would hope that after what we saw last night, where there was the only person that seemed to have Tripp is playing through the 2 games Tripp's played. That's who I'm like, man, Tripp still got it. Tripp hasn't lost it. Like, I just don't.
Jaren Jackson Jr. is the best basketball player on whatever court he's on. Just saying that.
Yes. And I would really, really hope that tonight, you know, like they.
Sorry, DG. I gave you credit, man. Come on, bro.
Yeah,
I gave you credit.
They had a statement win the end of last season against the Milwaukee Bucks. This is a different Milwaukee Bucks team. If they lose tonight, then I think there's bigger.
We might need to pop the hood and do some work on the engine. If
you lose 2 nights on the second of a back-to-back, well, so the Grizzlies, happy Halloween. The Grizzlies will be playing the Bucks, trick or treat, whatever. Are Marcus and Des playing? Have they
oh, no, I guarantee they're not. I guarantee you not. The way Marcus' ankle turned, he only played 6 minutes last night. Des was walking real gingerly around the court after the game.
Yeah.
They're absolutely not playing tonight.
So who's going to start?
You'll have Ja. You'll have Jaren, Zach, probably. You'll have Santi. Probably start at the 3.
Jitty?
Jalen? Jitty? Probably Jitty.
Jitty?
Probably Jitty over Jalen, I would imagine.
I mean,
and it better not be Jake. If they keep putting Jake's slaw ass out there in crunch time situations and he's putting up back-to-back threes or missing 4 layups at the rim, like, what are we doing? Like,
yeah,
why is Jake in there in crunch minutes, man? Like, it just doesn't make sense. And I heard through the grapevine last night that Ja was pissed in the locker room after the game, and I hope so. I hope he was in there, Bobby Knighting it, right? Throwing chairs, kicking chairs, flipping, breaking clipboards, whatever. Like, we need somebody to step up and be that locker room leader. We need somebody that's going to look to be that alpha. And we've got alphas on this team. Yeah. We just need somebody to step up and be it. And DG, to DG's question here, we talked about this just briefly earlier. From a fan's perspective, yes. Again, you've got Drew Hill, DeMichael Cole, and Chris Vernon on your case. Your seat's warming up. I don't think from Kleiman's perspective it is, though, because this is not, as much as we want to pin this on Taylor Jenkins, and a lot of it is his game feel and putting people in, but he's not making this decision on his own to limit minutes. This is coming from the front office for sure.
Yes. And another thing, should Taylor, like, if we are, this is a good point as well. I don't know. Like,
I don't know what we're doing, man. Like, that's what makes me think his seat is completely cold and he's not going anywhere. This front office has got his back because he's not coaching with his hair on fire.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any hair.
It's because it burned it all off. If another question I would like to pose, like, if he is on the hot seat and if they were to fire him, I don't know, like next week, then who? Like, I don't know. That's where I'm at. Like, right now, I don't necessarily know.
Yeah. I mean, do you let Tomas take over and fire in his belly? Much better, DG. Exactly right. Though his belly is a lot smaller. He lost weight this offseason.
He did lose weight.
I mean, do you promote from within? Is it Tomas with his offense? But, like, I don't know, because it hadn't looked the best the last couple of nights. It's just led to sloppy basketball and not winning basketball.
I mean, is he not coaching from a hot seat because there's nobody else? Are they just waiting? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, there's plenty of young up-and-coming assistants around the league. Sure, you can pull some guys. There's going to be plenty of guys that want to coach a team that's talented with Ja and Dez and Jaren. Like, there's plenty of guys who are going to want that in the offseason. But right now, like, maybe that's it. Maybe we don't have anybody on that bench that can take over. Jason March just came up from the hustle. Mutombo's not ready. I don't know who you promote up that's going to – I don't know. Whoever it is, if TJ does get fired, I don't think he is. But if he does, Like whoever it is, play Ja 30 minutes. I'm not asking for 38, 39 minutes. Playing 30 freaking minutes. Play Jaren 30 minutes. Like they're 24 and 25 years old. They can handle it.
I think that's the thing. I think a lot of us would just be happy to see 30 minutes under John Jaren. And I agree with you, TJ. I think this is true. I don't think we need to do that. Look at what happened with the Bucks last year. I mean, like I agree. Yeah. I also Dennis, shout out my friend. Thank you for joining us. I think we're all getting to that point where we're looking like, well, who's available, and we're all getting frustrated. But I agree. And Shelby, she agrees. Wayno's right. We got plenty of time to turn this around. And I think that could start tonight. I do think we will beat this Bucks team. I mean, they're not great.
Mm-hmm. They're getting the best shots from Giannis and Damian and Lillard, and they're still losing. You know, if the pattern holds, we got our butt kicked by a team on the second half of a back-to-back that went to overtime, didn't get to Memphis till 3 a.m., and they kicked our butt last night. So if the pattern holds, we played last night, we'll play the Bucks tonight, and we'll beat the crap out of them here. I hope, but this is a very, we said the same thing about the Nets yesterday, Luke. This is a very winnable game and one that we should win. But right now, what the Grizzlies should do and what they are doing are vastly different things.
Yes. So let's continue on that. What they should do and what they are doing hasn't really lined up so far. Let's say tonight we think that. We know 4 are the starters. I think Santi has proven himself. He's going to start. And if you want to talk about, I'm starting to get what Wayno's saying. The ups and downs of Santi starting to get me this season, man. When he starts, Wayno, that's the only time you're going to hear me say it. But you got Wayno, you got Tripp, you got Ja, and you got who am I forgetting? Santi. You got those 4. And then let's say. Who did we say? Let's just say Jitty. Jitty will play tonight no matter what. So let's say Jitty. So then who you got? You got Jay Huff. He played BC a lot yesterday. I think you probably have to play BC tonight just for bodies.
Quite a bit, yeah.
Since you have guys out. Then you got Jake, Jalen, Scotty.
Because we're committed to not playing Zach Edey in the second half. Like, we're committed to that. Like, he played like 7 minutes, 5 and some change, and none in the fourth quarter. So, like, we're committed to him not playing in the second half.
Oh, DG is saying it. Edey will have his best game of the season tonight.
We said that against the Bulls. We said that last night. They didn't have a true center.
They didn't have a center.
Most of the night, it was Ben freaking Simmons on Zach Edey, and he still had what? He had 13 points. I mean, he didn't play awful 6 for 9, but like last night was the game where we should have taken advantage of having a 7'4" monster on our team.
And we had 4 more boards than they did. Yeah.
I'm waiting on that game, GG. I hope so, because I'm still standing for Zach Edey and saying he's going to figure it out. But like last night felt like the night that was going to happen. He's, I don't know, Brooke, I don't know what the center situation is going to be for Milwaukee tonight, but like they didn't have a true center. Again, they were running Ben Simmons. They put Clowney on him some. Like they had Dorian Finney-Smith.
Yep.
Like last night was the night for Edey to dominate, and we didn't do it.
So far. It has seemed like John Collins, he's struggling in a lot of these games with small players.
For sure.
I do think that he will do better tonight against Giannis is a different ballgame, but Lopez looks like he's lost a step. And with the step that looked like BC had the best game of the season, and he looked like he was back.
We had some vintage BC moments last night around the rim and some big boards and like a couple big steals. Like we had a vintage BC game last night, and it was much needed for me. I love Brandon Clark,
but I
don't want to see him go. But we've been talking about like, is he the guy that's on the way out with Jay Huff? So we needed that last night.
Yeah, well, and honestly, you mentioned Jay Huff. The bigs. The bigs are what I'm looking forward to tonight.
Yeah,
that's I want to see the bigs match up, because if we win this game, oh God, I can't believe I'm talking about if. I hate that we're already at that point. When we win tonight, Jaren's gonna have to dominate.
Yep.
Which he can. Jaren is. We got a unicorn, and we need to start playing it.
That's what I was saying last night. I was telling Maggie, because like she's newer to watching the Grizzlies play, and like there's not many people. You shouldn't be 6'10" and shooting and moving and doing what Jaren does. Like we truly have a unicorn, the Black Panther, the unicorn, like whatever you want to call him. Like we truly have a special player there, but we're not utilizing him to his full capacity. When he's out, like Like they should have just like, they used to call it 5 out for Zebo. Like you just swing the ball around, give it to Zebo and just, GTFO out the way.
Oh man.
Like that's what we needed. Like we needed to 4 out, right? Like give the ball to Jaren and let him work. Cause like they had not, like no matter who they put on him, Ben Simmons, Finney Smith, Cam Johnson, nobody could hold him last night. Like Jaren could have had 50 last night if Taylor Jenkins would have got off his sorry ass and played him and let him do it. Like we'd have won that game. Tripp would have had 50 freaking points.
Yes.
And it would we'd be having a completely different conversation today. I was hoping that after what, he said after the Bulls game, TJ said, we got to figure this out. We guys getting run, whatever. Like I thought last night was going to be the night that we would see a marked improvement. Jaren played 4 more minutes last night than he played against the Bulls. 4 more minutes. If he'd have played 6 more minutes, we win this game pulling away. Because he was the best player on the court last night.
Yeah, man. And if this minutes restriction thing, whatever, if it continues past these first 9 games, I'm going to be so mad. Yeah, I'm going to be so mad because I got that excuse ain't going to hold up after the first 9 games, plain and simple.
And
there's a lot of the games. And
Tony Allen said it best on the Chris Furnish Show on Tuesday. You're professional athletes. You show up in shape. We got to get in shape and get our game legs under us. Happens in the offseason and the preseason. That's what it's there for. TA was on one. If you haven't listened to Chris Furnish Show on Grand City Media, listen to it from Tuesday. TA was on one talking about like, you're a professional athlete. You got to show up in shape. You can't show up not in shape. It's just an excuse, and we cannot do that.
I couldn't agree more. And that's, like it or not, this team, we are title contenders. That's the expectation. And I'm sorry if that isn't fair, but that's where we are. Yeah. And so we just expect to see title. Yeah. Like we just expect to see coach. Like that's what we expect. That's what we see. I'm going
to give some credit where credit's due. Wayno was on our show about a month ago, and he said we are truly a season away. We've still got to gel. We've got to figure it out with Edie. We've got to get some of these guys some run together because last night was only the second time that our true starting 5 has played together because of injuries. And lo and behold, what do we have last night? 2 more freaking injuries. 2 more freaking injuries to our starters. Like, again, I don't understand. Did one of y'all in the comments step on a grave or harm an ancient ritual? I don't know, but it's like these injuries are getting to me, man. Like I'm pulling my hair out, like it's getting to me. Why are we Marcus's thing? He stepped on Zaire's foot. It is what it is. Those things happen. But Des getting an oblique injury, I'm just worried. Like, what are we doing from a strength and conditioning standpoint?
These are muscles.
Yeah. What is our off season like?
And you know.
Yeah. I don't want to throw the S word around, but there's a S word that rhymes with loft that's being tossed around a lot. I said it last night. It's what it feels like. But you're a professional athlete. Yeah, an S word that rhymes with loft. But as a exercise science, I'm a physical therapist, emphasis on sports. I work with barbell athletes a lot. There's a way to prime the pump to be ready to compete. And it just feels like time and time again, we're not there. And last night, Dez's oblique injury was just another thing showing that we're not physically ready for the season. If we're on minutes restrictions, we're pulling obliques in game 8 or game 5.
Yeah, if that ends up being the subtitle for this season, the Memphis Grizzlies pulling obliques and minutes restrictions in game 5, I'm going to be so upset. It's just that's not what we expect, and that's not what this team's better than that, to be perfectly honest. That's
a lot better than that.
A lot better than that. And shout out, we got a lot of new people in the comments. Yeah. Shout out, I love this. Shout out the Philippines.
We got the entire Philippines. Let's go.
Love it. Shout y'all out. We're gonna real quick before we take a break. Do you think we win tonight?
And the fan in me says yes. I want to.
I know.
I we figured out. Ja goes. We get demon time Ja back, but Luke, I'm not confident.
I'm not either.
And I've got to do the post game bounce tomorrow about it, and I'm nervous.
All y'all got up on me for having to do the first loss, and now we keep losing. Mm-hmm. Watch, we'll win tonight. You're gonna get lucky because you're the Brooklyn's. I think I'm
Listen, I covered a win last time. I'm calling tonight. Grizz win in emphatic fashion. We get a 30 piece from Ja. We get a 40 piece from Jaren. Jenkins figures it out. We back up after tonight.
Yeah, the World Series dominated the headlines last night. Ja Morant's going to dominate the headlines tonight. You heard it here first.
Let's do it.
Yeah, we're going to take a quick break, y'all. When we get back, we're going to play a little game, a Halloween-themed version of Oh, I should have been him for Halloween. Right after this break.
I think Zach Edey played well. He got his fouls in. he got him in for sure. But we saw some flashes of really what he can do. Whether that's setting screens or just whether blocking shots or just making guys change their mind about shots or just affecting the quality of shots that guys were getting in the game. We saw that a lot. They gotta use him though, man. They gotta be able to find him a little bit.
I was about to say they especially the whole first quarter. It was like because I think that lob that y'all had him, that was his first points of the game. So it was like the whole first quarter. I did peep that. It was like I see everybody else attempting 5+ shots.
Right.
Y'all gotta find a way to give Zach Edey something like at some point. Everything was running well last night, right? The offense was flowing well. It's gonna come a stretch of time where they're gonna be stagnant, and at that time, that's when I expect them. Okay, hey, let's run a post play to Zach Edey.
Tune in to the Anthony Sane Show Wednesdays and Fridays at 12 p.m. weekly on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
This is a question I don't know if you've ever been asked. Was there anyone you ever wanted to dunk on? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm glad you haven't getting a big kick out of that one. I'm glad you've been waiting all day for that. Just waiting all day to get that little jokey joke in. Oh, you got a joke. But yeah, I always wanted to dunk in the game. That's what I wanted to do. And it didn't have to be on anybody. I wanted it to be off of a missed shot, like on an offensive rebound, so that everyone's around or in the vicinity when it happened.
Did you ever dunk in practice and get overly excited?
Yes. and everybody be like, well, are you going to do it in a game? And I'm like, no.
Tune in to the Night Court Podcast with your hosts, Rob Fisher and Brevin Knight, on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Welcome back to the daily grind, and it's Halloween time. I need to, man, sometimes these are good. Sometimes. You can catch that show. It's Thursday, right? Oh, God. Yeah, it's Thursday. It's Halloween.
Yeah.
Oh, but I think I got the days wrong. I don't know. We got a lot. You got Night Court.
Night Court's Wednesdays.
I just need to have it on my desk. Night Court's on Wednesdays. Anthony Sane shows on Wednesdays and Fridays. $2 sports shows on Fridays. No bluffing on Mondays. Grizz 901 live will be later tonight. I hope they're in costume. Hint, hint, Daniel. Step up. Yeah, come on. I got a rat under my hat operating the whole podcast. You just can't see it.
And I got enough 2-sided tape that's going to pull all my skin off with this scar. So
are you just didn't hold your head to the fire this morning? That's what I thought. It looks really
I thought
good.
about it. You know, we built a fire last night at Maggie's. I just chickened out.
You know what? Hot take, getting burned would hurt.
Pun intended. Hot take. See what you did there.
Yeah. Back to our show. Around here, we play games on Thursdays. Specifically, we play a single game called It's Our Trap. Trap. It is named in honor of Rear Admiral Akbar of the Rebel Alliance, Hoops fan, and Daily Grind fan, maybe. The point of the game, there's not really a point, but the rules are, I will give our guest, in this case, Sandor Clegane, a series of trivia questions. Half are fake, half are real. You don't have to answer correctly. You just have to say it's a trap or yes. Tell me which ones are real. Tell me which ones are fake. That's it. The theme of this week is Halloween. And I'm not going to lie. Some of these are tough. Some of them, maybe. I don't know. What was we'll just jump right into it. What was the original purpose of wearing costumes during the festival of Samhain? I can't pronounce a Celtic name. I can't pronounce it right.
But yes, and it was something about like to ward off evil spirits or confuse the ghosts, something, right?
Okay, you know.
Dude, I'm a spooky season savant, man. Like I love it. Like a connoisseur of all things scary. Let's go.
That was literally like, that's practically verbatim what I had down as the answer. So well done, sir. Question number 2. In which U.S. state did the first official citywide Halloween celebration occur?
Yes. I feel like Salem, Massachusetts is like an appropriate answer, but I don't know that's it.
It's Anaka, Minnesota.
Oh, so close.
You're right there, man.
Oh, right there, man.
Right there.
The state starts with an M. Close enough.
Yeah, same thing. Which ancient Halloween dance was believed to summon friendly spirits?
It's not. If it's not the stanky leg, then it's a trap.
It's a trap. You're right. Stanky leg summons other things, but not spirits. Second question: true or false? The phrase "trick or treat" originated from a magical spell done by witches in the Middle Ages.
Ooh, it's a trap.
Well, with the hair when you're doing that, I really don't. I don't like it. I don't like it. Which popular Halloween candy was originally sold only during the fall and eventually became a staple for Halloween, themed after a vegetable?
Themed after a vegetable? Yes. But I don't know what it is.
Candy corn.
Oh, well, that tracks.
Yeah.
I should know. I love candy corn.
I was like, don't you like candy corn?
I love candy corn.
Aren't you one of those people?
I am one of the good ones.
Yeah, you're one of the okay. Which was the original purpose of Halloween costumes in colonial America? I don't know why
that's a trap.
It is a trap. I don't think it was around any. I don't. The colonial Americans were weird. Next question.
They play dressed up every day with their little Quaker outfits.
And their hats and their little
puffy wigs.
And their wigs. We should bring those back. In early Halloween history, which animal was commonly associated with mischief and was believed to be a messenger of bird spirits?
It's a trap.
It is a trap. I don't know. I don't know what kind of bird it would be. Birds are scary anyway. Yeah. Shout out birds.
Some people think they're fake.
Yeah. Some people. Is there a bird in here? You said that like there was a bird in my house. Oh, God, he's right behind me. Next question. Which iconic symbol originated from an Irish myth about a man named Stingy Jack? Oh, my God. Is that a sword?
It is. It's a sword. I'm ready. For the birds. It's a trap.
No, that one was real.
Oh, no.
Jack-o'-lantern. Stingy Jack. Jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah. I'm too busy worried about the birds.
You were worried about the birds, but you brought a prop, so I'm going to add that question. And then final question. I like two final questions. What tradition of how did the tradition of trick-or-treating develop in the United States?
Yes, but I don't know.
What a candy, I guess.
I feel something about the Celtic tradition. They were doing something.
Yeah, I want to think that some young family sitting around is like, I want some candy. Let's go see if the neighbors have some.
Let's go get some candy. I love it. Last question. Which early American president was known for hosting spooky Halloween celebrations in the White House?
This feels like real.
I should have worded it. I'm going to
early American.
Yeah, I worded it poorly.
It's too early.
Yes. But you know what? The points don't matter, and you still did better than Uncle Buck. So you win. And you brought a sword. I didn't bring a prop.
Should have brought a wooden spoon.
I should have brought. I could run upstairs, but by the time I get back, not worth it. Not worth the bit. That's gonna do it for our show today, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you. Happy Halloween. Thank you to all the new faces. Everyone, the Philippines. Shout out, y'all.
What a great nation.
Art, I've seen you in here a couple mornings, brother. Thank you. Dennis, thank you. Erwin, y'all. Wayno, King Meeks, appreciate y'all coming and spending your morning with us.
Yeah.
Enjoy your Halloween, y'all. Be safe if you go out. Be safe. You're going out with the kids, steal their candy and eat it for yourself because it's delicious. Jess Benson's happening right now. $2 Sports Show is going to be tomorrow. We got a lot going on tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to try to get Daniel Greer on here with us. We will be back then. Go Grizzlies, guys. Send out good vibes. Yeah. We're going to win tonight. We're going to win tonight. I'm saying it. Go Grizz. And if I can leave you two things today, y'all remember to be a little weird. It's Halloween after all. And remember to smile. Bye, guys. Have a good Thursday. Happy Halloween.